It's not fine. This thing is crying out for help. And I already know somebody in the comments is gonna be like, that's too soon, you're gonna kill it. And honestly, maybe. Maybe. Hey guys, welcome back to Thankfully Packed. My name is Chris. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, today we are doing some much needed repotting. I have a few little, well, several plants to repot, plus some planty chores like leaf cleaning and wiping and just like getting them set up, because at this point, they have definitely passed the quarantine phase. And by the quarantine phase, I mean they live here. They basically pay rent. They know each other, okay? It is time to really get them settled into my collection. I have 3 golden pothos, which feels excessive. I could have sworn I had 2, but apparently I have 3 that have never been repotted. I'm looking at them and yeah, apparently I have 3. I think pothos just kind of spawn when you're not looking. Like all of a sudden you think you might have 2 or 3 and then bam, there's like a 4th one somewhere and you don't know how it got there, but it just is. It is what it is. I also have this little curly spider plant, which is still in the original nursery soil and it's just, it's no good. So we're gonna be repotting this one. We also have my Maranta, which has been doing great. So I have a Maranta, I have a little orchid that I got on my last Come Shop With Me video, which I'll like link here and in the description if you wanna watch it. Had a lot of fun. Came home with my first ever orchid and I have some plants. So I have that. I also have a crimson, I wanna say crimson queen that I also wanna repot. Again, still in the original nursery soil. What else? Is that it? Oh. You guys, oh my goodness. I have this philodendron that I have like right behind me right here. And that thing keeps falling over every 2 seconds. It's in like this amount of soil, but the plant itself is really long. So it's super top heavy and it keeps falling over. I'm really scared that either my kids are gonna step on it or that it'll just like damage itself. So I think I need to put it in a like more soil, kind of just make it bottom heavy and maybe support it. I do have a few trellis options, but we'll see. What else is there? I also have this little guy. Oh my goodness, I love him so much. When I got him, he didn't have this little like head spike thing. He was just kind of like rounded. Anyway, we added googly eyes because obviously somebody suggested it and I already have googly eyes on some of my other plants, like my snake plants. They just need googly eyes. But this guy, you can't tell me he wasn't born to have these eyes on him. Like, he's amazing. Anyway, he's also in his original soil and I don't have that many cacti. So I'm a little intimidated, but I think I'm gonna put him in some cacti mix that I have. We'll see, I don't know. I don't know, he's a little intimidating, but I also want him to thrive and do his best. So we might be repotting him. I would hate for him to rot away and die on me. Like he's so special to me right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like every cactus owner, like real like cactus owners and collectors, people who like have had them for a long time or just collect them and know what they're doing, I feel like every cactus owner either talks about them like they're immortal or like they're moments away from death and there's no in between. So as a fairly new person to cacti, I think I have like one other cacti, my fire stick, which I don't even know, it just kind of sits there and does its thing. Besides that, I don't really have a lot of experience with them, so I just really want to do him right. So we'll see what we do with this one. Might leave him alone, might not. Anyway, yeah, got a little bit of a stacked planty chore list today. I bet if you're watching this, you also have planty chores. So pause here, grab your stuff, grab your pots and your soil, grab your hot beverage. I'm drinking a macchiato today. Grab what you want and let's do this thing together. So my chunky soil mix, which is tried and true. Let me show you guys. Grab a little bit of everything in here. I have obviously soil, there's some perlite, there's charcoal, there's orchid bark, and I've just recently started mixing in worm castings. I feel like it's about half soil and then half equal parts everything else. So that is my chunky soil mix and that's what I use on like 99% of my plants. I also thought this would be a really good time to play around with a few soils. So I have this leftover Soul Soils chunky houseplant mix. I've never used it, so that should be fun. And then I also have 2 from Grow Queen. This one is the Craft Aeroid mix. And then this one is the Craft Houseplant mix. It's probably the one that I will be using today. I think I'm gonna do my chunky soil mix against maybe one of these Grow Queen mixes. We'll see. By the way, none of this is sponsored. I'm not getting paid for any of this. They just sent me these for free, so I thought I would, you know, try them out, and I will link it below, but no pressure because honestly, this is my first time using all of these, so I wouldn't even know to recommend it. I'm not gonna recommend you something that I've literally never tried. So keep that in mind, but if you like what you see, it will be in the description below. I will link it, and that might be like an affiliate link, but again, not sponsored, 100% honest opinions here, okay? Always. Anyways, let's get started because I've got a lot to do today, and I have a feeling this is gonna take me hours, and I don't have hours. So let's get started. Golden pothos. Let's start with these. So I have this one, which is trailing really nicely. Does need to clean. I do need to clean up some of those leaves. I have this one, which is one of my favorites. It grows the biggest, most freaking gorgeous leaves. Like, look at this. This is a golden pothos, the basic plant, but this is gorgeous to me. Absolutely love it. So I've got that one. And then, as I said, apparently I have 3. So this is the third one. Ooh, there you go. This is the third one. Doing okay. I do think this one needs a little bit more light because some of the variegation, I think it's reverting a little bit to just like a regular, mostly green plant, which I don't mind, but it's a golden pothos and I want it to stay that way. So I think I might be moving it after this to a slightly brighter location. It's also got a lot of dead leaves, so I definitely need to do some cleaning up. Okay. I'm right here. Kind of just choose like the 2 most similar ones. And this is by no means going to be a perfect experiment, by the way, because I constantly move my plants around. So for this to be like really real, I would have to like give them the same exact lighting and put them in the same place and all that stuff. I'm not doing all that. But I think I can still kind of get as close as possible. This one and this one. They seem to be like the most similar to me. And then this trailing one, I'll just put it in my regular chunky plant mix, which I think I'm gonna have to do a refill. So I can show you guys that too. Realize I am out of my leaf shine spray, so I will have to make some of that as well. So you guys are getting the full deal here. You're getting the mixes and you're getting the soil and you're getting the spray. But let's start with this one. This one I keep right above my TV and it's been doing really, really well. Can you guys hear the birds? There's so many birds out right now. My yard is full of them and I love it. I've been throwing out bird seed. I feel like I have a few bird feeders that I definitely want to fill up because I just love the wildlife. I even bought a squirrel feeder that I'm going to put kind of away from the bird seed one because I feel like the squirrels are eating all the bird seed, but that should be fun because I love the squirrels too. Like, give the squirrels a chance. They want food as well, okay? Ooh, look at these roots. Let me show you guys the roots real quick. Nice and healthy, super dry though. I hate this potting mix, which brings me to my next point. I feel like I have to do this little disclaimer before every single one of my repotting videos because I just feel like people are gonna have questions as to why I do it this way. But for me, personally, for Chris, what works in my house is as soon as I get a plant, I like to repot it sooner rather than later. Sometimes that's after the 2-week mark and sometimes it's well before that. And I know that the whole thing is like, you know, you're gonna shock the plant, you're gonna risk killing it. It just came from a nursery and it has ideal conditions and now you're putting it in your house, which is not gonna have the same lighting, the watering, the ambient humidity, blah, blah, blah. And on top of that, you're messing with the roots. Like, that's gonna shock the plant. That's gonna increase the chances of it dying on you. However, I like to know when it was repotted, what the roots look like, and that it's in a good quality soil that I won't have to mess with in a while. That's what I like to do. I know it's all preference. Also, like, can we be honest? Nursery soil just stresses me out. Like, look at this. I'm gonna show you guys. Just soil and maybe a little bit of perlite, which I've just noticed they're starting to add perlite more often than not in these mixes, but usually it's just the peat and it's so moisture retenting, which works for some plants and really does not work for other plants. Like, this is also what my Hoya is in, and if you know, you know, they don't like this like super sponge-like material at their roots. If I don't repot, how would I know, right? And how would I get it into something that I feel like it'll thrive in? This is brownie mix. That's what I feel like this soil is. It's literally brownie mix. It's not gonna do it any favors. Now I already know somebody in the comments is gonna be like, that's too soon, you're gonna kill it. And honestly, maybe. Maybe I will, but then you know what? Here's what I think. The plants in my collection, we have an understanding. And if I kill them, we don't talk about that. If they survive, they belong here. They deserve their spot, they've earned it, and they know the vibes. Like, they know what it takes to survive in my household. Okay, so that looks like, oh, nope, there's still like so much compacted soil in the middle. By the way, I watered this yesterday and the soil is still quite, like in some places it's super dry. And then in other places, oh, hello, cat. Can we help you? Kit Kat. Hello? You're gonna get soil all over you. Anyway, in some places I'm finding like pockets of super damp soil, and then in other places I'm finding like these chunks of soil that are super hard and just not, like, this tells me that it's not getting watered evenly because of this soil. So I feel even better about repotting this right now. I think I'm gonna go with my chunky soil mix because honestly, this is my favorite of the two and I know my soil mix works really well. So I'm gonna be using my chunky soil mix on that one. I'll probably have to make a little bit more soil today. Nice and chunky. Trying to position the leaves now that I have the chance in a way that kind of cascades but doesn't block where it's at. For all I know, I'm changing the placement of this like next week. But for now, it was like, if you saw it at the beginning, it was sort of all the leaves were leaning forward. So I'm kind of trying to spread that out a little bit. It's kind of like a hot mess. Like if you look at it top down, but if you look at it from like this angle, like I just want it to just kind of evenly go in different directions. Oops, this leaf broke on me. Get rid of that. So that is pretty much done. I do need to make some of my leaf shine spray, which let me show you guys real quick. I do the leaf shine just to make them look pretty, but I also do this as like a preventative measure because I do add neem oil and alcohol to it. So if I can avoid discovering some pests along the way, I love that for me. So I'm gonna go fill this up with some distilled water and I'll be right back and show you guys like whatever else I add to it. Be right back. I am back and I've got two things. I filled this up, I think I said distilled water. I meant to say filtered. I got this from my fridge. So I filled it up mostly all the way with some filtered water. Got my microfiber gloves, my absolute favorite thing to wipe the leaves down with. And then, okay, I've got yes, so this is the peppermint Castile soap. I bought this once and I've had it for years. I literally use so little that it's probably gonna last me so much longer. I don't know if you guys can tell where it's at, like, where is it? Maybe halfway. But I'll show you guys real quick how much I use. This is alcohol. I keep it in a spray bottle, but I'm gonna be using a little bit of that. And I also have my neem oil, using a little bit of this as well. So I don't know whose recipe I'm using. It might be Paige Talon's like Blossom Effect, or it might just be one that I found online. This concoction is like everywhere. So if you need other options, look it up, but I'll leave you guys like roughly what I do, but you'll see real quick. So when it comes to the soap, about that much, not a lot, a few drops maybe, okay? When it comes to the neem oil, about the same. I don't overcomplicate things, guys. It's mostly water, so it'll be fine. Let's see. Maybe a little more. That's it for neem. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of alcohol. I don't like to do too much. There you go, just a little bit. So as you can see, really not that much. Like if you see the water line from before and after, I haven't really added too much to it. That's it. That's my DIY leaf shine spray. You can also buy it already made, like pre-made, but I like this. It's much cheaper. Like I said, I've had all of these for years. First though, I do want to sip a little coffee real quick. So good. Disclaimer, do not put this, if you're gonna be using, let me get my coffee out the way, hold on. Do not put this near lights for a while because the oil can definitely burn your leaves. I've been there and it sucks. After a few hours, it's fine, but if you wanna be on the safe side, don't put the plants back under grow lights or in direct light for like a day. Then you should be fine. I like to spray it until they're dripping, like dripping wet. And then I go in and wipe it down. Make sure you get the back sides of the leaves, guys, because that's where a lot of pests like to hide. Because again, remember, this is to make the plants look pretty, but it's also to prevent unwanted house guests, okay? You see the drips? Oh, there you go, yeah. So I like to leave it until it's absolutely dripping. And then we wipe away. This is why I love using the gloves too, because I feel like I can really get in there, you know, lift the leaf and like trace the petioles and everything with my fingertips. And I do have the microfiber wipes and stuff, but this is just a lot easier to maneuver around, especially when you have a lot of leaves on a plant, or when you have very delicate, super delicate leaves that just break off by you staring at them. I feel like this just gives you a lot more control over what you're doing. So I do love these gloves. Sometimes if I know I'm going to be doing like a lot of leaf wiping and shining, I'll do it at night once my grow light's already turned off, and obviously once the sun is gone, because that way I don't really have to do anything. They're gonna just, you know, naturally air dry, and by the time either the sun comes back up or my grow lights turn back on, they're good. They're good to go. I don't have to worry about burning them, which I've burned many a leaf doing this method without properly taking time to remember that like the oil can burn the leaves, and it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I don't know if the camera is picking it up. Oh yeah, right there. How freaking gorgeous. So this one's ready to go almost, actually, because another thing that I do while I'm here, and every time I repot, especially fresh from like the garden center or the nursery, I add this, which is systemic granules. This is 100% preventative for me. Like I said, just wanna avoid any and all cases of potential pests popping up, and while I'm here, why not? So I'll go in with a few, I don't know, recommended amounts of this. I just like to do a little sprinkle, and then I water it in, which I'm gonna do anyway because this is fresh soil and I want it to, you know, take on a little bit of water. There are instructions, so read them. I'm just gonna do a little sprinkle and call it a day. There you go, that's it. Just a little seasoning for the plants. So that's it. That one is good. That one's in my chunky houseplant mix. So let's move on. I'm gonna clear this out, by the way, because there's like a bunch of soil. I don't think you guys can see it, but there's so much soil and dirt over here. So I'm gonna clear this all out of the way and go on to plant number 2. This is the second golden pothos. This one is going to be getting the Grow Queen mix, and I'm going to just use, yes, I'm gonna use this one. It's the Craft Houseplant mix. Says it's good for everything. So this has fir bark, biochar, worm castings, alfalfa, gypsum, forest humus. It's peat-free. Every single review is fantastic. So I'm actually really excited to use it. Take a look at this plant. Oh my gosh. You know, this is what I mean. Had I not repotted this, I would have been like, oh, this is good. Look at this, you guys. This is a full-on root ball. Hello? Like, this is why I like to repot, okay? Literally stand up on its own without the pot. You know what? I was thinking like, oh yeah, I do have to clean up this plant a little bit. As you can see, there's some dying leaves and they're at the bottom. So I was thinking, oh, those are just the old leaves. It's probably fine. It's not fine. This thing is crying out for help. It wants a repot desperately. So let's give it one. Oh my God, there's literally like no soil. I mean, there might be some soil in the center, but I hesitate to kind of, should I break this up? I have to. You know what's funny is I always check the roots before I buy the plant. It was the empty pot, we're good. Anyway, I always check the roots before I buy the plants in the store, but I can't remember this plant looking this root bound when I bought it, which wasn't that long ago, if I'm thinking correctly. So the fact that so much has grown since then is actually kind of insane. I don't know, maybe I just didn't notice. Maybe all I was thinking was like, oh, the roots look healthy, let's grab this plant. But I sincerely can't remember it looking like this when I checked the roots in the store before I purchased it. Rock hard. Again, I watered this yesterday. That's why the leaves are nice and perky, because it was kind of droopy. I don't even know at this point, like, where is the soil? I don't know if there's any soil left. I got a little leeway in here. I made like a little pocket. And I think I'm getting in there, but it's giving me, there's just like more and more roots in there. I could trim the roots. I haven't done that in a while. I think I want to upsize this now because I was just going to put it right back in here, but the fact that there's basically only roots left means there's not going to be much space for any soil to be added. So let me see if I have a bigger pot real quick, and we'll go from there. Is this any bigger really? I can't tell if this is bigger or just taller. Honestly, I think this one might be slightly wider, but let's see. This might do the trick. We'll see. Okay, yes, this is it's a little deeper, it's a little taller, so there's space for some soil there. So that's what we're gonna use. I'm going to use that today. So let's crack this baby open. Do you see all these amendments in here? It's like this chunky thing here. I think this is perlite. There is some bark in here. It's just super chunky. It feels really like gravelly almost. Yeah, so I can tell this is mostly, honestly, I think it's mostly amendments. I don't know how much soil there actually is in here. And I could just tell by the feel of it and like the look of it that it's gonna be really, really good, really well draining and really good for what I'm about to use it for. So I'm just gonna add, about this much to the bottom. No, you know what? I need to break up the ball a little bit. I am breaking off some roots, but at this point, this plant can afford to lose a few roots. This is really, really compacted in here too, so. The heck was that? My vacuum cleaner. Don't worry guys, if you're new here, I drop at least 2 to 3 things per episode, per video. It's normal, we're fine, we're good. That's a little better. Okay. You know, we might have done something. We might have done something just now. I'm just add a little bit more soil around the top and around the sides. All right, while I'm here, some more granules, just sprinkling. Follow the directions, don't follow me, at least not in this case. There is almost nothing left, half a scoop of soil left in here, so yeah, that's basically all gone. But now we have to wipe the leaves. This is one of my favorite planty chores, you know what I mean? It just feels so therapeutic, and I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like if the plants could talk, they would really be appreciating this. Like I'm basically massaging every single leaf. I'm checking every single one. I don't know. This is like the self-care that I would want if I was a plant. Plant number 2 is done. It's the orange, I'm gonna have to try to remember, orange pot is the Grow Queen mix, and the regular nursery pot is my mix. So we'll use it as a little comparison tool. Although now that I'm looking at it, this plant is much more lush to begin with than the one I'm doing. But let me see, I'm gonna screenshot this for the future. This one's kind of flatter on top purposefully because it's underneath a shelf and I want it to kind of cascade downwards. So that's why this looks a little bit like my cat sat in it, which she didn't. But anyway, this is my chunky mix and this is the Grow Queen mix. So I'll check back in a couple of months and see. So I'm gonna hold it like this and we'll go back and we'll see the difference, okay? Okay, Golden Pothos number 3. Again, the nice and already trailing one. Oops, there we go. I love this one. I keep it above my couch, which is why it still has this. It doesn't really need it, but I might be moving it out to my front porch for a little bit now that the spring is here. I'm gonna actually save this little hanger. There we go, okay. We've got some roots. Not as root bound by any means as that last one. That one was actually crazy, but this one is not so bad. Maybe like an inch or 2 of just roots, but there's still some soil. And I watered this, like I said, yesterday, so the soil is pretty wet still. So it should actually be fairly easy to remove most of it. I feel like that's loosened enough. So real quick, let me gather my chunky houseplant mix materials. I love planning ahead. I already had a pre-made batch, so we're good for now. We are good for now. Make it in like really large batches and it doesn't always fit in this little drawer situation, so I'll keep it in these shoebox containers. And that is exactly what I have here. Nice and chunky. Okay. Third golden pothos done. Actually, let me put this thing back on real quick. Oh, okay. Third golden pothos done. My trash pot now. The next plant is gonna be this Maranta. Very dramatic, very, if you don't water it for long enough, it will show you by drooping and acting like it's 100% dead, but it recovers fairly easily. I think these are like cousins, but this Stromanthi Trio Star loves curling up. It curls up every single leaf. Oh my gosh, is that a spider mite web? No, I think that's a regular web. I don't know what happened, but as soon as spring sprung, somewhere in this house, maybe in several places, there was a jumping spider spawning. Okay, I think maybe, I'm thinking it's one like mama spider or whatever, but all of her eggs hatched, okay? Because we've been finding jumping spiders in every corner of our house, and I just keep finding them and just like relocating them, but they are everywhere. Anyway, I think that's what I just saw. But anyway, back to the original point. This plant loves showing me when it needs water by just curling up every single leaf. It's got a couple of crispy leaves here too, but it's very similar to the Maranta. This Stromanthi is very similar in that it will really just visually show that it needs water, but as soon as you water it, it perks right back up. So I know this is dead, but that looks really pretty, like next to this. Oh no, mistake. I was a little bit overzealous with my leaf pruning. I don't know, what do you call that? Is this savable? Are there nodes on this? I mean, there's kind of a node here. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's a leaf. We'll be okay. We don't need to save every single cutting. It'll be okay. That is fairly cleaned up, but there's still a few little stragglers, but I think that's okay. So let's check on the soil, because that's what I'm most curious about. It's not that root bound, but the roots do look healthy. They're very fine though. They're very fine roots, which coming off of those thick, juicy roots from the pothos is a little different. It's almost like hair. Very fine. Oh, look at that. I found a little like rhizome in there. Or is that what these are? I forget. I know these little bulbs are like what new plants can come from, so I'm gonna like not touch that. I think I'll leave it there. Dump out the rest of that and add the chunky mix. The smell of the soil is so good. It smells so fresh and so earthy. I absolutely love it. I'm going to be watering this through, but what I won't be doing is spraying this Maranta down with this leaf shine spray. I have a feeling that these beautiful, delicate velvet leaves are not, they're not gonna like this oily alcohol mixture. So I'm probably just gonna hose it down because there is some soil stuck to the leaves now. Probably hose it down and just use water because I am scared that this texture is just going to be absolutely ruined. There's one. And 2, and 3. Okay, plant number 4 is done. Next up is this philodendron. I forget which one this is. Let me see. This is the philodendron Paraíso Verde. So it has grown. I think I got this when it had maybe one leaf, maybe two, and it's grown really well, but it is very lopsided. So like I said, it's been in this little cup since I got it. A little bit root bound. There are some roots peeking out of the bottom of the cup. I think it's time to upgrade. So let me find a suitable like container because I don't want to size up too much, but it definitely needs support. Like even now it's super wobbly. Let me find something real quick. I found a few options, but I don't really know what the best one is at this very second. I don't want to size it up too much. I do have this one, which is just slightly bigger. I think this is the one I'm going to go with. And I love, whenever possible, repotting into a clear nursery pot, because then I can just pop it out and see the roots and check on them whenever I want without having to basically uproot the entire plant just to look at it. But I think this one, I thought this one, but this is going to be, I feel like, way too much. Wait, maybe this might be like the second repot, but for now I think I'm just going to go slightly larger. How to go about this? Let's see. There we go. Are these rotten away? Some of these are rotted away, I think. Yeah, see, that's no good. That's root rot right there. Just wiggle it out of here. Hopefully it doesn't break on me. There we go. Alrighty, get rid of some of these old roots. I'm gonna spray it with a little bit of hydrogen peroxide for the root rot that I see. A little hydrogen peroxide. That should do the trick. Got my little pot. Now, the next big question is, should I or should I not trellis this bad boy? I think I'm gonna do this little tray leaf trellis. This is a bit too chunky. That is a lot better. It's got this one little leaf here, you know, typical philodendron. It wants to be unfurling for a year and a half, but I'm gonna leave it alone with the spray anyway, because this spray is good, but I don't really trust it on like the unfurling new leaves because they're so sensitive, you know, and they're still quite fragile. So I'm gonna try to avoid that. Done. I think that looks so cute. What plant are we on now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this my 4th plant? No, 5th. 3 pothos, 1 maranta, and now a philodendron. So 5th plant, done. You know, this is why these videos take me so long. It's like the cleaning up in between just to make room for the next plant. Okay, there's that. Next up, spider plant. I was so excited when I found this plant. Like, I know the little cactus over there with the eyes and the googly eyes and everything. That one is whimsical, but this one, I feel like it's very underrated. Like, this is a very whimsical plant, just naturally. Like, the leaves literally curl. The little babies that come out and just, what are you doing, Kit Kat? Anyway, the pups, when this starts growing and starts like putting off its little offshoots, I think that is the cutest, most whimsical, just fairy life type of plant I've ever seen. And I can't wait for this one to do the same thing. But first, we're gonna get it out of this mix. Oh, I see what they did here. Look at that. This was just several smaller spider plants. Look, you can even tell where the old nursery pot was. They just put several little plants together. That's so funny. Oh my God, there's so much soil in here though. Look, I feel like that's way too much. That's so funny though. Yeah, so they basically took 2 little baby. Should I separate them? Do I want to do that? Because it looks really nice when it's full. But then I have 2. Side note, how cute would this be? As little like puffs. Like I have one in the middle. What if I just have like 2 more? That's cute. I probably have a bunch of soil in my hair now. I don't know. Decisions. Do I want one full lush plant or do I want too many babies? Oh my God, Kit Kat, you are doing the most today. Anyway, I think I might want 2 little babies. I don't know. Decisions. What should I do, guys? What should I do? Let me ask you guys. I'm gonna ask you guys real quick. All right, so I've just asked you guys for your opinions in real time about what I should do with this little spider plant. I did it on social media, so while that cooks in the background, I'm gonna set that aside and I'm gonna move on to my Hoya. My Hoya Crimson Queen, very clearly still in its original stuff. I'm gonna get it out of here. And you know what? Yes, I'm not gonna use my chunky soil mix. I'm gonna use the Soul Soil's Houseplant Chunky Mix, because why not? I've never used it before and I'm kind of curious. It does say very clearly that it's good for Hoyas. I've used other stuff from Soul Soils, like their leca, like just straight up, and it's fantastic. I have yet to find something I don't like from them. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is what I'm talking about. Can you guys see how chunky that is? Wow, look at that. That is chunk. That's a leca ball right there. Lots of perlite. Honestly, very little soil. These chunky mix, you know what? Although my chunky mix is good, I'm starting to think that I don't really know what a chunky mix is, because the Grow Queen soil was very rocky, very gravelly. This one has a lot of that, like, you know, like chunky bits as well, and very little soil. My chunky mix is like 50% soil. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about when I say chunky mix. I don't know. This one should be fairly quick and fairly easy. A couple of these leaves are goners though, so let me just clean that up while I'm here. Yeah, so this had literally 0 amendments, 100% sponge, which, like I said, is really bad for Hoyas. They hate that stuff. Anyway, that's good. Let's see, you know, I think I'm gonna leave it, but this little branch, this little offshoot looks like it might die off. Like both leaves are really wilted. I don't know. But anyway, that's what we're working with. What should I put it in though? I was gonna use this, but now that I'm looking at it, I feel like this is too big. Yeah, I feel like this is too big for this root ball. So let me pivot real quick. I'm gonna find something slightly smaller. This is my little earthling pot. It previously had a string of bananas in it that completely croaked. I tried my best, you guys. It did not survive. I think I'm gonna use it for this Hoya. That's super cute to me. And he just sits on the little shelf. I love him. That's really chunky. Ooh, you guys, I think I like this. I think I like this a lot. You know, would it be cheating to add a little bit of my soil in there? I don't think so. I'm gonna add a little bit of my soil too, just for like a little bit more soil. I do love the chunky mix of the Soul Soils, but I kind of want, I'm just mixing it up in here. I just kind of want it to be a little bit more soil than it actually is right now. And I think that's okay. Look at that pink new growth. Oh my gosh, I hadn't noticed till just now. That's gorgeous. Just a little. This one is done and looking very cute, might I add. Right, next up are the last 2 things besides that. Oh, sorry. People are chiming in with what I should do with that spider plant. Like I said, besides that, I actually have 2 more plants. So I've got this little orchid that I recently rescued, and just my little guy over here. I think the name vote was we should call him Nopalito for nopal, which is how you say cactus in Spanish. And I think, I don't know, I think this might be the case. At first, a lot of people were chiming in with like bear or something else because he just kind of looked like a little teddy bear, or Mickey because he kind of had like the Mickey ears. But I think his name is Nopalito. Do you hear that? Literally rock hard soil. So I'm gonna do, like I said, a little transition into maybe some cactus soil. And then I have this orchid, first orchid ever. I'm gonna put him aside for a second. I think I'll start here. I really wanna put this in water because I've seen people do it and it just looks really cool. And I think it'll be easier for me to maintain if it's in water because I can see the water level. So it's just a little baby. Got it from clearance for like $4, you guys. Do not sleep on clearance, okay? If you're looking for plants, if you're looking for pots, sometimes you'll get an awesome pot, like self-watering or made of like a nice ceramic material. And even if the plant is dead, you just came up on like a $20, $30 pot for like a couple of bucks. So shop in clearance, don't sleep on it. Anyway, this is my little orchid. The flowers have died off and apparently that's a good time to transition it into water if you choose to do so. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that first. Why am I not ready with any pots? I am so sorry. First, let me go get a little clear pot because I want to be able to see the water. Be right back. One is a baby food jar left over from when my kids were babies. And then I've got this tiny little vase. I think I got this from Dollar Tree. So I don't know, maybe this one because I kind of like the lip of it. I feel like that'll allow for more airflow in there. Let's take it out of here real quick. Those are the roots. It's in sphagnum moss, I think, and that's it. There you go. I mean, that's pretty clean. There's literally nothing left, but the roots look really good, nice and green. I'm gonna go wash this real quick and I will be right back. So I filled it up with just a little bit of water, maybe like an inch. I don't know, I guess it depends on the size of the pot, but this is how much water I'm gonna do. The orchid itself is nice and clean. And I went ahead and just washed the leaves with just water, so I don't think I'm gonna use the leaf shine spray. I feel like it's not necessary at this point. They're nice and clean. Anyway, there you go. I feel like that's good. Most of the roots are touching the water and I think that'll work in its favor, but it's not like 100% submerged. That's it. Very quickest repot so far for sure. And I'll just set it aside and keep you guys updated. Hopefully these rebloom at some point. I don't know, like the, like cycle of orchids. I have literally no idea. First orchid as well. First spider plant, first like nopal cactus. First time for a lot of things here. So we're gonna be learning together. I will keep you guys updated, but that plant is done. Plant number, whatever the heck, I have no idea. I have no idea, I've lost track at this point, but let's move on to the cactus. Oh, hello, Kit Kat. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna do it. I am gonna repot this little guy. Take this out, what does it say? It says low to medium light, water when soil is dry, drain any excess water from container. Okay, I'm gonna take him out as carefully as I can. Oh, are these roots? Oh, wow. For some reason, I didn't picture this cactus having like really any type of roots. I'm scared to tilt him, but my God, when I tell you guys this soil is rock hard, like it is rock hard, and I can't imagine that's the best situation for this cactus. Ooh, it's looking a lot healthier than I thought it would be, but you know what? I should have a little bit more confidence because it's obviously growing. Like I said, this whole little middle spike has grown in the time that I have had it, and so has the little ears. The ears were a little bit smaller as well, and this was completely non-existent. So it's obviously growing, it's obviously doing well. Will definitely fit very comfortably in here. So for now, I'm just gonna pop you in here. No, I'm gonna hold him. I'm so scared that he's gonna break off. I think I purchased this one. I don't remember what brand this was, but as you can see, as you can see, it's very sandy. So, there we go. I think I'm gonna use some of this Soul Soils as kind of like a topper. It's super chunky and well draining, so I think it'll be okay. Hopefully, for this cactus. It sort of looks like I put top dressing on it, which I like. Anyway, there he is, super cute. Now, I have obviously added googly eyes. However, somebody else suggested that he needs a bow. So let me go find a bow from one of my girls and I will add it on. All right, I've got options. So at first I was thinking white bow. I don't know why, but white bow seems to make sense. I don't know if I should do it right here on like that little spike, but it's actively growing, so I hesitate to put anything on it. Even though I'm just gonna be using like a little painter's tape, it's not gonna damage it. However, I could also do a little bow tie. And now he's a dapper little man, and I think I'm leaning towards bow tie. But I also brought an orange bow because orange and green just, they go together, okay? They always work. So orange and green, guys, I don't know. Orange or white? See, the white looks really nice too. He looks like he's a little waiter or something, like he's ready to take your order. But then over here, he's ready for the Met Gala. Over here, he's ready to shine and just be the main character. I don't know. I'm gonna go with orange for now, just because I like orange. Orange is one of my favorite colors. Let's do a little orange bow for him, shall we? The joy that this brings me is unmatched. Like, we really, as a society, just need to start doing the little things that bring us joy, because every time I walk by this guy, I'm gonna smile. Like, how could you not? Anyway, somebody else said I should add a sombrero, and I don't have one, but any other suggestions? Let's keep this rolling, because he is just a cute little whimsical guy, and I love him. Can you wipe up cactus leaves, palms? I don't know. Let me look that up real quick. He is a little dusty, just a little bit. But again, I hesitate to use my DIY leaf shine mix because alcohol and neem oil, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if that would be a good mix for this guy. So I'm gonna leave it alone, but let me know below if you have any suggestions. Guys, after crowdsourcing this decision, I checked Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, and the consensus is separate them. I think I only got like 1 or 2 comments saying keep them together, and everybody else, by majority vote, said separate. So that's what we're gonna do. Apparently spider plants are just gonna grow. Like, they are fast growers and they're gonna put off those offshoots and everything no matter what. Like, as long as you take good care of them. So that's all I needed to hear, all right? So we're gonna separate them. I've got a variety of different clear pots. I brought everything because I don't know what is the best size. Let's see. Maybe. This one's immediately too small, right? Yeah, that's a no-go. This one has a lot of breathing room because it's an orchid pot. There you go. It's an orchid pot, so it's got a lot of slots, which I feel like would be good for these roots, but it's like exactly the size it needs to be. And I kind of want to just size up a little bit to give it some, now that it's gonna be separated, I just want it to have a little bit more room to pop off. So I think I'm gonna go with this size, which looks like that. It's got some drainage holes. One of you guys told me that you started off with one spider plant and now you have over 10 from the one plant. And some of the offshoots are even, like, some of the baby plants have grown to be even bigger than the mother plant. And I'm sorry, but that's a dream. Okay, I am excited. This is also why I love the plant community. I was telling the same person who told me that they have 10 spider plants now and even more on the way, is that I love the fact that there's always somebody out there with more experience. This is why I end every video with asking you guys your opinions, tips, and tricks, because I still consider myself a beginner, even though I've been at this now for a couple of years. And I think that's just awesome that I can just ask a question and somebody out there with like X amount of experience or their own personal take can chime in and let me know. Like, that's, what more could you ask for? I love it. I love it. That's good. Let me just clean some of this up while I'm here. I'm not gonna separate the roots too much. Cause I feel like it'll just find its way. It'll just find its way to the rest of the soil in the pot. Plus, it's not really compacted at all. All right, you guys, these little babies are done. I think I'll keep one in this little pot and then maybe find a cover pot for this one. There you go. Done. All right, I think that's it. I mean, I've run out of plants, although there are a few other things I could do in my collection, but I fear this video already is going to be at least 3 hours long, and I'm gonna have to do some heavy editing just to make it a cohesive video for you guys as is. So I think we'll stop there. I have a ton of cleaning to do, and I think this is a good stopping point. If you like this video and you watched it, you've made it to this point, thank you so freaking much. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I post weekly here on YouTube all kinds of planty things. So if that's your vibe, also hit the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any cactus tips. As always, I'm learning, I'm new to this as well, and I would love to hear from you guys. So chime in below, and I know you have a lot of stuff to do. So let me know what's on your planty to-do list this week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh, I just forgot I need to water everything. Ugh, that's gonna take a while. All right, well, I'll spare you guys that watering saga, but just know I will be watering everything down. So this is gonna take forever to clean. It looks like it should be bigger, you know what I mean? Like an optical illusion, but it's actually really small and it's really cute and I love him. I've got soil in places that I didn't even touch. Like, that is impressive. Say hello to Kit Kat. Oh my goodness, so fluffy. All right, you can go. There's soil on the couch over there. There's soil over here. There's obviously soil on the floor. One last look at the literal star of the show. I mean, come on. Fantastic.